Welcome to Swill and Grog's Wonderful World of Beer. It's just me again this time, and I'll be reviewing Bohemia, 4.5% alcohol by volume, brewed and bottled by Cerveceria Cuauhtémoc Moctezuma in Monterrey, Mexico. Now, I have tried this brew once before. It was a long time ago. I also tried reviewing it, but that was another one of my ill-fated reviews, as the lighting on it was really poor, so I had to scrap it, of course. Anyway, let's hope I get it right this time. Anyway, without further ado, I think I should grab the trusty Star Trek bottle opener and pop off the cap. Alright, so as you can see, it comes in this lovely 355ml brown bottle with foil around the top, which reminds me I should be careful of this foil here around the neck of it, because yeah, it does have a tendency to go into the beer if you're not careful. And I shall pour it into this Spiegelau Pilsner glass, as it is a German Pilsner. Alright, saw some nice smoke there. Alright, so just giving it a nice pour. Alright, seeing a lot of carbonation there as I'm pouring it out. Alright, got it all in there. Alright. So, let's make an assessment of the appearance, as we always do. Well, the appearance is, you know, a very clear, light, golden colour, with a very decent amount of carbonation there. Just a little over a finger of, you know, bright white, frothy head, you could say. I think when I poured it, it was, I don't know, maybe approaching, you know, 2 fingers of head, but seems to be dissipating like at a fairly, you know, rapid rate. But I must say, you know, it does look very enticing. Alright, so let's move on to the aroma, shall we? Well, what I'm getting, you know, first and foremost, is a you know, very predominant smell of, you know, citrus, you know, sort of lemon zest, I suppose you could say. But it's a very, you know, fresh, clean sort of smell. And, you know, there's also some, you know, barley malt there as well. But, yeah, very, you know, pleasant smell of, you know, citrusy hops in the aroma there. Alright, so we've talked about the appearance and the aroma, so that does bring us to the most important part of the review, the taste test. So a huge cheers to you all. Let's dive in. Alright, well, it's got a very nice hop bite. Up front, you know, I'm definitely tasting, you know, that sweet barley malt. It's, you know, very pleasant. You know, there's a nice sort of breadiness to it as well, which I always like to see. You know, there's definite, you know, taste of hops, you know, in the finish there as well. You know, you're definitely tasting that citrus, and, you know, the flavours are, you know, very, you know, well balanced. You know, it goes down really smooth. So, yeah, I mean, my first impressions are that it's, you know, a really superb Pilsner. Anyway, time for another gulp, I think. Well, you know, it's certainly holding that taste profile. It's certainly a beer that you could call very crisp, very clean, and very refreshing. As far as, you know, its mouthfeel goes, it's, you know, it's very smooth, of course, and I would probably class it as, you know, light-bodied, although it's certainly not, you know, watery in any way. It's definitely one that's going to, you know, go down really well, you know, in the summer months, you know, especially here in Australia with, you know, the oppressive heat we have, but, you know, most definitely in a place like Mexico, where, you know, it's even hotter. Unfortunately, in Australia, it's, you know, pretty hard to come by. I had to order this one online, actually. So, yeah, perhaps Dan Murphy's or First Choice might actually think of stocking it one day instead of a lot of the rubbish beers that they do fill their shelves with. That would certainly be nice to see. As far as the price point goes, it suffers there, of course. I think I paid an arm and a leg for this. It wasn't too bad, but it certainly would have been better to see it for a more reasonable price, because it's not something really extravagant, I think. I mean, but they were certainly charging craft beer prices for it. Anyway, I think it's time that I wrapped this up. So yeah, I'll have one last gulp and give it my final thoughts and score out of 10. Alright, well, all in all, it's a really impressive Pilsner. I really can't fault it flavour-wise. It's very enjoyable. It really, hits the spot even, this evening as I'm doing this review. It is my first beer of the day, though, I should let you know. What would I give it in terms of a score out of 10? Well, it's not exactly mind-blowing, but it's a very solid Pilsner. So I'd be happy to give it a 9 out of 10. Alright, so there you go, folks. A 9 out of 10 for Bohemia. Alright, so that does bring us to the end of yet another Swill and Grog beer review. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully I'll have another review up on YouTube, in the next week or so. So until then, fare thee well, all.